Welcome back to Expresso right here on S3. Lovely to be hanging out on this Wednesday morning with you. Now, with a brand new day comes new opportunities to make a difference, and that is what it's all about. Now, our uplifting new series, The Social Impact Stories, focuses on the great work businesses are doing in society through their corporate social investment initiatives. Now, together with Trialogue, a company with more than 25 years of research and consultancy experience in the CSI space, we'll be exploring the role businesses play in bringing about meaningful change in their communities. Now, the spotlight today falls on an enterprise development, which is all about growing businesses that contribute to the economy and create more jobs. It's time to turn our attention to one of the dynamic entrepreneurs that, with the help of the Sanlam Foundation, has been reaping the rewards of the incredible Sanlam Project Accelerator.
By 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Let that sink in. That was one of the quotes that really got me thinking about how we are polluting our environment. It's one of the biggest reasons you should decide to recycle. I started Recycle First, as many other South Africans that start businesses, as a means to earn a living. Initially, when I started, I actually wasn't really keen on recycling. I'm not a tree hugger. But as I learned about recycling, I really got quite passionate about it. And it was about being part of the solution, not being part of the problem.
I think initially Anthea had a lot of enthusiasm. One of the biggest visions, I think, was this whole concept of saving the planet. And with that idea of hers, I thought that she would have the guts to go for this.
At Recycle First, it started with just collecting from homes, and then we developed and we grew into collecting from businesses, from complexes, from factories, to the point now where we have shredding facilities, and we also look after building waste management. We collect paper, plastic, glass, metal. It comes to the warehouse where we're in right now, and we sort it into all the different categories of waste. We then sell it to the buyers, always looking at how can we increase or how can we recycle more out of our customers' waste streams.
We got involved with Recycle First around 2020, where we were allocated Recycle First as part of the Sanlam Accelerator program to facilitate the growth and the structuring of Recycle First.
I joined the program just after COVID hit. It was frantic. There was so much uncertainty. And the Sanlam Accelerator program really stabilized my thinking. It gave me structure. And there were courses that we could attend to help build our confidence in what we were doing. My favorite is that we had mentors. And we had weekly meetings with our mentors that helped us stay on the goal, on the button.
When we first came in, Anthea had very little structure. The people hardly had any allocation of responsibilities. Part of the design phase for us was to allocate responsibility to each of the people here. The second thing that is she has done an analysis of her business. We did that with her, set up budgets, made sure that she was running the business as a business.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would have 50 people working for me. We've initially recruited people through word of mouth, and we've slowly restructured that to be a bit more formal. We also use the resources around us. ELM night shelters around the corner, and since 2016 we've actually been contacting them and trying to help those that are struggling to actually find a job.
I got involved with Recycle First whilst living at ELM Night Shelter. I was presented the opportunity to come and casual here for a few days. Whilst being here in that few days, I was approached by Anthea, who's the owner, and she asked a bit about myself, how it is that I landed up at the night shelter. I explained to her my situation. She showed a lot of empathy and was very generous to give me the opportunity to work on myself whilst being here and to also get my life back together again.
As the business has grown, I've become more and more proud of Anthea in terms of her growth personally, and then also growth as an individual in an organizational capacity.
I was 8 months pregnant with my second child when COVID hit. Running a business and being on maternity leave is one thing. Running a business and being on maternity leave and a pandemic, whew, that's another thing. So this program came at an integral part of my life and business life. The impact that the Sanlam Accelerator program had for Recycle First, I cannot actually put in words. It's morale. It's how we are interacting with our staff. It was our best year ever in the fact that our turnover actually shot up. So Sanlam really helped us pivot the business and really ensure the survival. We were at the stage going to close down. And so to go from closing down to actually having our best year ever, that says a lot for mentorship.
Sanlam Accelerator program is designed to work with enterprise supplier development throughout South Africa, to structure businesses, to enable them to grow, to enable to add value to the country, and to add value to their supply chain at the same time.
When I'm talking to people, often they say, oh, I don't have enough waste. I don't need to recycle. And I'd like to challenge that mindset because every little bit counts. If everybody recycles just a little bit, how much less waste would be going to landfill? And this is really an opportunity to do a small thing that has a big change when the volumes all come together.
Absolutely inspiring. What a story. Now, not only is Anthea Fransman growing her business with the help of the Sanlam Project Accelerator, but also doing so much good for the environment. Now, this morning here to discuss more about Sanlam Project Accelerator and how Sanlam invests in growing businesses like Recycle First is the head of the Sanlam Foundation, Nozisiwe Vundla. Nozisiwe, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Ewan.
So good. You look beautiful. Let's start there. Let's start there. And you've got a wonderful laugh as well. We had a good one just off camera just now. I think this is incredible what you guys are doing with this project because we spoke about it just now off air. The importance of small businesses in South Africa. It really is the backbone of the economy to provide those businesses, but we need help. Running a small business in today's day and age in South Africa with the economy as it is no small feat. So I think let's start chatting about Sanlam's commitment in growing businesses and supporting them and how it aligns with Sanlam's corporate and social investment strategy.
Sure. So, as you've seen there in terms of Anthea and just the amazing work that she's done as an entrepreneur. So what Sanlam does and what we are committed to is to supporting entrepreneurs. As you've said, SMMEs are really the lifeblood of South Africa's economy. So it's lovely to have large corporates like ourselves. However, if South Africa's economy is going to be sustainable and the growth, have sustained growth, it's going to be in the SMME sector. So we think it's very imperative for us to be able to support those SMMEs because so much goes into making sure that an SMME is successful. And we're very proud of the work that we do. And I also wanted to mention that it's very much a team effort, led very much by the entrepreneur. They really have to have the grit and the determination, such as Anthea. And then there's a whole team behind them, including my team at the Sanlam Foundation, really wonderful, dedicated team, as well as our implementers who actually help us run the program, such as Ian, who you saw, who's one of the mentors on our program.
Absolutely, and the way you speak about it, I can see that you absolutely love your job, which is amazing. How does Project Accelerator work exactly? Because we heard Anthea say that, they were almost closing doors, but then they went from that to having their best year ever.
Absolutely. So we offer a suite of services to each of our beneficiary businesses. So that ranges, Ewan, from business development support, there's mentorship, there's coaching, we have boot camps that we run with them, there's access to finance, because obviously loans are an important part of growing a business as well. And then finally, what we offer is market access. Okay. And we offer the opportunity to become part of Sanlam's supply chain. And as you can imagine, Sanlam is a very large corporate. We're the largest non-banking financial services firm on the continent. And there are lots of opportunities for SMMEs to become part of that supply chain.
I've got to ask you quickly, there's so many small businesses out there, and I'm sure you have a rather tough task. How do you go about honing in on the right business that you want to take on board, that you want to get on this program, like you did with Recycle First?
So, like I was saying earlier, it's very much about the entrepreneur to begin with. There's a certain psychology and there's a certain focus that we have to see in the entrepreneur themselves. So they really are, what gives us the biggest buy-in. So we do like a diagnostic of the person themselves, as well as where their business is at. We help them with their business plan, and we see where it is that they're at and where they want to go, and whether we feel we can add value in that journey. It's quite a detailed process, and we get to really know the entrepreneur as well as their teams and sometimes their families. Anthea, as she said, had a small child at the beginning when she joined our program, and she had another little child at the time. So we really get to know and be very invested in the entrepreneurs.
I got to ask you, Anna, and if you're an entrepreneur with a business, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can find out a bit more. But what's the vision here for the future? I mean, you've scaled it up to a fantastic level already. Where do you want to see this go in the future with regards to small businesses?
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that, first of all, CSI is the one area where corporates don't have to compete. I'd really love to see a situation where if one program is working really well, that as corporates we can pull together and support SMMEs, using the same programs. I'd really love to see that, because I say, like, we're lucky we don't have competition in our particular sector. It really is about scaling up. It's about, finding what works. It's about finding, obviously sectors that are growing and supporting SMMEs in those sectors. And about giving them market access, because that's ultimately what entrepreneurs need, is a market to be able to do what they do well.
Small businesses need all the help they can get, and with a project like this, they can literally flourish. I applaud you for your incredible work. Thank you very much for coming through so early in the morning and just sharing this vision with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And like I said before, it's very much a team effort.
It's a team effort, getting that forward momentum for sure. Now, one thing is for sure, South Africa needs thriving businesses to succeed. Like we spoke about, it is the backbone of the economy, and it's clear that mentorship and support can make all the difference. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, maybe it is time to reach out for help to grow your business. Now, to get involved in one of the Sanlam Foundation's programs, what you can do is you can visit the website sanlam.com/Sanlam Foundation, or they're also very active on their social media platforms where calls for applications are shared.
We celebrate the change makers as companies, communities and civil society work together to build a brighter future for all. Brought to you in partnership with Trialogue.